Raymond, give us your thesis here.
Encouraging. Actually, all the measures they have launched, especially the one last night, talk about the mortgage down payment down to 20%. Talk about the interest rate cut to some extent, allow it to be the LPR, the loan prime rate, plus 20 basis point, that the max that all the local governments can do. But as Yvonne mentioned, that many cities have already executing this type of policy in the past few months. The impact of how that would encourage consumption. Now, the regulators, they also provide a case study and mentioned in the press release about, a million yuan mortgage because of this type of interest rate cut can release 5,000 yuan per year, so that would encourage some consumption. Let's see, whether people get the save, the interest payment, are still willing to spend, because from our point of view, it's more about a confidence issue. It's more about, whether they are still living in a very cautious and precautionary mode in terms of their spending on investment.
Raymond, it is a case of them kind of bring stability as well, but the thing is, stability may not be enough to engender confidence. This is the thing, because there is household savings on the way up in China. It's just they need that catalyst to get them spending. Now, in your view, what could that possibly be?
No, I think the government needs to or continue to prime, in order to help China to avoid some sort of balance sheet recession. That's how that's the experience in Japan, that government need to do more in terms of fiscal policy, not only monetary policy, but at the same time, probably they need to reiterate the point. At the same time, well, the houses are for sheltering, but at the same time, we do want you to upgrade your apartment. That's the reality. So that can help some sort of a softening of the tone, and eventually help to have a soft landing of the property market. I think this is the reality of, under this ideological constraint, what the max local governments can do. So I think that's how the property market outlook will be coming over the next, not just 12 months, but also for 2 years or 3 years.
You mentioned about negative equity. I'm just wondering, can you walk us through your report? You say basically be aware of the mortgage risk and be aware of the price cut. Can you lay out what could go wrong here? What's the risk?
Price expectation is the most important things now. That's why we mentioned about confidence, because in terms of the mortgage book, currently is 38.6 trillion yuan. It represents like 17% of the total loan book in China. Now, we had the experience before in Japan, also in Hong Kong, for example, in 1997, the experience in the property downturn could result in negative equity. Some of the cities that we've known, for example, Zhuhai, started to cut price. Now, at the moment, the price decline remain manageable, but the government really need to not to provide a message that will allow a larger decline in property price. If that's happened, that would change the household expectation and will result in some fire sales. So currently, this type of price expectation management is critically important to avoid negative equities. And what the mortgage measures they've launched so far, I think is still, it's positive, to this type of development.